Hello, my name is Karen Behrman, and I'm a clinical psychologist in San Antonio and Bulverde. And thank you for inviting me to be the speaker today. And I'm going to speak about balancing work and family life, which is, I think, a very popular topic, and something everybody can benefit from more balance. But it's certainly become more, salient for me since I became a mother almost 2 years ago with Corey. And when you become a parent, everything changes. There's additional financial stresses, there's more demands on your time, there isn't time to fit everything into your schedule, you have new responsibilities, not enough hours in the day, and then of course the challenge of finding the balance between your work obligations and your parenting obligations and your relationships and your hobbies and managing stress. So it's a big decision, as far as being a working parent, and it's important to gather all the information that you can. Talk to other parents that are working and parents that aren't working. List what you love about your job. Talk to your partner about his or her views, and keep your work options open for as long as you can. And then with respect to your parenting responsibilities, be aware of your children's special needs. Every child is different. And understand your own emotional needs. And remain sensitive to the needs of your relationship or relationships and your family. Balancing all three is quite a challenge. And it's also important don't believe that stereotype that people that stay home are bored, or people that work don't have any time for their families and don't have balance, because those certainly aren't true. Working doesn't mean neglecting your children, and staying home doesn't mean a life of boredom. It's really important to be honest about how much time you have, and also be aware of your energy level. Remain realistic about your different options. Some of the work options could be working part-time, job sharing, freelancing, teleworking, flex working, compressed hours, or of course starting your own business. And you need to figure out what is best for you. And some of the tips that I recommend are building a social support network, ask for and accept help, get your children involved, work as a team with your co-workers, with your family, with your children. Get to know your neighbors so that you always have someone to call for backup, or with incidentals. Talk to your bosses and work colleagues. Identify backup and emergency plans. And the second tip, this is really important, letting go of guilt, because it's a useless emotion. It doesn't help. It's just a waste of emotional energy. Focus your emotional resources on finding solutions, not beating yourself up. You cannot be everything to everyone. You can't be in two places at once. There's only one of you. And use rational logic with yourself to counterbalance the guilt feelings. It's also important to establish limits and boundaries. Boundaries are those imaginary lines around you, separating you from the rest of the world. They define and protect your personal space and your personal time and energy. Be aware of your responsibilities, and take charge of your time and your priorities, and learn to say no. And I think this is particularly difficult for women. But if you say yes and give away everything, then you won't have any energy left for you or your family, and that's not a good place to be. The next step is determine your own standards. Accept that you cannot be all things to all people, and that you do not have a clone. Stop trying to be a perfectionist, because nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes every day. Develop effective compromises between the different demands on your time, and live by your own standards and not somebody else's. It's also important to make time for yourself. You cannot take proper care of others if you don't take proper care of yourself. It's like the analogy when you're on the airplane, you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first, before a child or somebody else. Being a good parent, professional, or partner means taking care of yourself. Find ways to relax and reduce tension and minimize the effects of stress. You may enjoy massage or yoga or other relaxing activities. Make time for daily positive affirmations. And time off will also benefit both you and your family. Nobody's productive if they work all the time, 24/7.